name is Darrell E Jr. and my project is SOAP website. The goal of my project is to make a website, and it's basically going to list different information about SOAP that is given to me from a different classmate. Basically, I'm going to host my website online, well, on Wi-Fi, school Wi-Fi locally, and so I'll be using the IP address. My website has 6 different pages on it. The first one talks about the project itself. It lists the ingredients and the different materials that you use. Second one is the soap maker page, which talks about the different recipes that we have for soap. And then the third one is about safety, different safety topics on the different ingredients that we're using. And then there's another one which talks about molds, the different sizes for molds for soap. And then there's another one for tutorials. I'll have this video and then other videos that talk about soap as well. And then there's another one that talks about the website itself, how it was created. But we'll get into that later on. To make my website, I use Ubuntu as my operating system. Just like Windows or Mac OS, Ubuntu is on my computer that I'm using to create the website. And the reason why I use Ubuntu is because it has Linux. Linux basically has many different modules and stuff, tools that I can use for servers, as well as for coding. And so Linux is a software system as well, but Ubuntu is the newer version of Linux. I also use Git, which is a terminal application that allows me to send changes to a remote repository. Basically, Git allows me to access my website remotely, and then I can push changes to my main branch locally. And so every time I make changes, whether locally or remotely, I have to push it. When I do it locally, I basically push the changes that I make to the remote branch. And so then when I'm remotely working on the website, I can access it and see all the new changes. And basically, I have to push all that to my repository. And my repository is basically where my website is stored on Git. So that's basically what it is. In a Git repository, you can make many different branches. And so there's 6 different branches since I have 6 different pages on my website. And the different branches can have different files and different text stuff in it. So I also use Nano. Nano is what I use to edit my website. Nano is an editor used through the terminal. I first had to download Nano through the terminal in Ubuntu. Then I am able to access my HTML, CSS, and JS files with Nano. And I can make my edits to my files. And as you see in the video, me editing the CSS and the HTML. So after that, I used Live Server, which is a module in Ubuntu Linux, to host my server. And then after that, I used the languages HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to make my website. HTML is the foundation of the website. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and the raw code looks like this. So the letters or words with arrow brackets around them are called tags. They define what is going to be displayed on the web page. There are many different tags. Some display text, like the header tag, which looks like a H inside 2 arrow brackets. And so there's many different tags. CSS complements the HTML code because CSS is the style of the website, and it stands for Cascading Style Sheets. So as you can see, this is what the CSS looks like. So the JavaScript. The JavaScript adds more to the website. This adds more interactive elements to the website that users like you yourself could go into and input stuff. Here's what it looks like. So to make all this work together though, I need to know how to link these pages together with a link tag. But it's pretty straightforward and easy after that. And then what you have to make sure is that all the different files, the CSS and the JavaScript, are in the same files as the different HTML files. I have 6 different HTML files, that's why, because I have 6 different pages. So then after that, I also have to know Linux commands to work with them in terminal. And the reason why I pursue this is because in the future, I want to be a software developer. And this is one of the skills as a software developer is to create websites. There's only one thing that I would do differently for the future if I were to continue this project, and that would basically be to host the website locally. I mean, not locally, publicly, since right now it's only locally over the Wi-Fi. So that's one probably change, and I'll probably name the link as well instead of just having just HTTP server 80808, I would probably do like www.soap website or something, right? And so that's the main thing that I would change going forward. But thanks for watching my video on my project.